Good afternoon from wherever you're tuning in. Welcome to Tea and Tarot. It's your sis Moon Magic, and this is where we get together every week live and vibe with the tarot and also vibe with one another, and have some tea or some coffee, lemonade, water, whatever your vibe is. Today I have the honey lavender tea. I'm hoping that my phone will stay alive for this entire feed. I thought I was charging it, but it actually turns out that I was not charging my phone. So we're gonna see how far we can get through, and if this video will save. But regardless, I want to thank you all for being here. I got the candle burning here. I felt it would be nice to bring some candles into our practice today, give us something to kind of focus our energy on and gaze upon during this reading today. And I find when fire is involved, it helps to transmute energy and helps to bring clarity. And so that's the vibe we're channeling in this reading today. How's everyone doing? Happy Tuesday. I'm switching it up a little bit. Got some red lipstick on. You know, I don't usually put red lipstick on, but I said fuck it and decided to put it on today. But yeah, how's everyone doing? It has been very eye-opening for me these past few months, few weeks, in terms of just different transformations and different aspects of my life, and different things that are opening up. So it's been an exciting time, but it's also been a uncomfortable time. There's a lot of unknown for myself at this time period, but also a lot of exciting things that are happening. So that's my update for this week. Not many updates. The Celestial Eclipse Return show was really, really beautiful. It was really amazing, and I had such a good time getting to connect with everyone. And we didn't get to do the cipher at the end. Unfortunately, our time got cut a little short, but I am very grateful for everybody who came out to the show and who vibed with us. Thank you so much for being part of it and creating that space with me. It was really nice to get to speak a little bit about some of the things that I've been thinking about with the anniversary of my grandma's passing coming up. I've been thinking about her a lot, and got to do some songs from the album, the Hip Hop Witch album, which I created in dedication to her. So that felt really amazing to get to share with everyone. On my yogi tea today, it says, compassion is your strength, and I keep accidentally dipping it in the tea. But compassion has definitely been one of the key words of this time period for sure. Compassion for ourselves, compassion for others, and just compassion all the way around. I think that when we experience uncomfortability, grief, changes, transformation, we're forced to open our heart space bigger and wider than we may have previously thought possible. Our idea of love can transform, and our idea of what it means to love ourselves and love others can transform as well. And I've definitely been feeling that a lot within myself. And I'm interested to see what comes through for the collective today. As you can see, I brought in a new deck. I have the Letterman deck, which I don't usually work with here. So I'm excited to see how that comes through and to see what cards come through on this collective pull today. But yeah, let's go ahead and ground in. I hope you got some time to grab your tea, your coffee, or your water, whatever it is that your vibe is. We're going to go ahead and do some grounding breaths and ground into this reading. If you want to join me, you can put one hand over your heart, one hand over your gut area, and close your eyes. Firmly plant your feet into the ground and take a deep breath in through the nose. Thanking your guides, my guides, and the divine for this space today. Deep breath out. Another deep breath in through the nose. Just asking for these messages to come through with exact clarity through this channel that we are creating together that make perfect sense to you. And for anyone who needs these messages today, that feel empowering and uplift you where you are in your journey. Deep breath out. Another deep breath in. Just really asking that this become a sacred container for us to be able to channel today and be protected from outside distractions or, anything else that may be taking away from our ability to tap in this moment. And may we create that sacred container so we can tap in and speak that gratitude for having this space for ourselves today and for one another. And so it is. Alrighty. Yes. I see Emily Ross in the building. Hello, lovely. Thank you for being here. All right. I'm going to go ahead and start pulling and see what comes through. If you are on the Patreon and receive a tarot reading from me on the Patreon, I am working on those personal readings on the Patreon right now. My Patreon and all that can be found at my website. Let me put that in here. www.moonmagicflows.com. And that's also where you can find all other extra special goodies. And as always, if you're feeling called to donate, I'll also add my Cash App, but no pressure. Just being here and sharing your energy is enough. Because that is always my biggest intention for this space, is to create community and to connect with one another. And that has no price tag on it, period. All right. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start with, I want to start with this deck because that's what I did in my personal readings for the Patreon family this week. And I feel called to do that for you all here today too. We will stop as we go along, as usual, to give you all opportunities to tap in with your own intuition. I think that's very important. I don't personally believe that the tarot reader is the one who has all the answers or anything like that. I feel like it's a reciprocal practice where we're tapping into that flow that is in all of us, and we get more out of it when we as the people receiving the reading also use our own intuition, not just to discern the messages, but also to contribute to what the reading means for ourselves and for the greater collective. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and pull this card and let's see what comes out. I don't use the Letterman deck like ever. I've only used this deck probably like 20 times total. So we both get to be newbies to this deck. Unless you have used this deck, then let me know if any of these cards speak to you. Let's see, what is this overall situation, energy for the collective that you want to talk about, Spirit? What is it relating to in this moment? Ooh. Okay. We're just gonna go with this one. Ring. Ring, ring, ring. Hello. Can you hear the call? All right, let me know down below. What do you notice in this card? It's giving very much partnerships. It's giving very much engagements. Not just with people, but also with energies in general. Like, what are we engaging with? Like, it's giving social media vibes. Like, perhaps someone who is focused on engagement or thinking about where their energy is being engaged. It's also giving sitting at the table. You see this? It's giving me like business meeting. It's like laying it all out on the table. That was the word I was looking for. Like a business meeting or a personal relationship where everything's just kind of laid out on the table. This is what it is. This is what it looks like. There's no questions unturned. It feels very out in the open. It feels very forward movement in this energy here. Let's see, Emily Ross says, I see commitments. Yeah, it does give me commitments. It goes back to that engagements. Like, what are we committing our time, energy, space to, focus to? I'm going to go ahead and read what the Letterman deck says for this. Because like I said, I don't really work with this one that often. And personally, I love always reading the descriptions after I save time to tap in with my own intuition. just to see if there's anything else that stands out or something that maybe I didn't think about before. I feel like it can always add to the reading. So I'm going to go ahead and read what it says. It says the basic meaning of this card is partnership, marriage, there we go, contracts, agreements, something that runs in a circle. Ooh, that is giving me like cyclical patterns within a relationship, cyclical patterns within ourselves, cyclical patterns within collective global energy, politics, etc. Representative are always repetitively repeating. Situations are things that are interconnected. In general, the meaning is relationships or repetitions that run in circles. Legal documents, military service, mandatory chronic liabilities, a strong bond between two people, creating a mutual foundation, feeling connected, staying together on the basis of commitment, getting others excited about your ideas, strengthening your relationship in relationships, bringing something to conclusion that has been lived for years, but also returning to the starting point. Relationships grow and change over time. In long-term relationships, remember the actual relationship. And I know that Venus retrograde has ended, and there's been a lot of karmic clearing and cleansing and purging with the eclipse and with Venus retrograde. So it's also giving me like the fresh start of a new cycle. And it's like, what does this new cycle entail? And what will repeat this time and what won't repeat this time is coming through with this energy. All right, so let's go ahead and pull some more cards and see what comes through. I see Underground Promoter in the building. Naturally dope. Good to see you all. Ooh. Page of Cups. Okay, what about the Page of Cups, Spirit, do you want to talk about? And Four of Swords. All right, I'm going to give you all an opportunity to look at this and take time to connect with these cards in relationship to this card. What do you all notice? What do you all see? What is coming out to you in this moment? For me, the Page of Cups always really represents like what your offering is in the world, your personal offering in the world, and becoming stronger and more connected to that personal offering. You know, whether that's your personal offering in a relationship or your personal offering in the world, your personal offering in a job, your personal offering to yourself, to others. It's really getting to know stronger what it is that you believe, what it is that you feel, what it is that you have to contribute to yourself and to society at large, to your relationships. It's also always been a card of really tapping into your emotions, your heart space, really knowing what it is that you want. Is also the vibe that I'm getting specifically from this card with this card here. And knowing, like, again, it's going back to that feeling of everything being laid out on the table. As you can see, this person has their heart in their hand. They're wearing their heart on their sleeve. They have the fish here in the other cup. They have this offering of a sorts. And it's like coming to the table and sitting here. And with this offering, with this letter, with this declaration, with this agreement, with this reciprocity is also what I'm hearing, with this desire, and sitting there ready to receive, ready to hear back, ready to engage and see what comes back. It's also giving me the vibe of like casting a line, like casting, like, you know, when you're fishing, you cast your line, right? But maybe casting your line within your life, like shoot your shot. This is given shoot your shot energy for sure. Perhaps shooting your shot with a specific person, or again, going back to business dealings. This may be speaking to a good time to shoot your shot when it comes to business dealings or business engagements or, a side business or your creative pursuits of really just like putting it all out there. That's the vibe that it's giving me overall for this energy, is putting it all out there and laying it all on the table. But with this Four of Swords here, it is an energy of that doesn't necessarily mean that you will get a response back right away, or that your energy will be it's like you're putting it all on the table and it's just sitting there on the table for the time being. is what I'm hearing, for the time being. That doesn't mean that the person doesn't see what's being put on the table. It doesn't mean that you're not going to be successful in shooting of your shot, but there might be, it's given like you send out that email, you know what I mean? You put a lot of work into that email that you're shooting your shot in, and then maybe you don't hear back for a couple weeks, right? It doesn't necessarily mean that you won't hear back, but it's this feeling of this stillness of everything's just out there. And seeing, it's very important. I'm going back to partnership and engagement or a marriage or a proposal of some sort, right? It's very important that both parties are involved in this discussion at this table. So if you bring everything to the table, you have to be willing to wait to hear what is being brought back to you at this table. If it's a business deal, it's giving, not going directly into the business without hearing what this person's desire and vision is too. It's like putting your desire and your vision out there and then seeing, okay, does it line up with this other person's vision and desire, and waiting to hear what they have to say, and to see if it's in alignment, so that this proposal, this engagement, this commitment can move forward. But yeah, let me know down below what you're getting from these cards. But this was what I would say is the overall energy right now, is really kind of just, like I said, putting it all out there. And this is what it is. This is what it looks like, without the extra, things that could get in the way of being honest or being truthful, or, any of the other fears or judgments. It's just kind of like laying it all out. Which I love that. It could be deep, but it also feels very direct, very direct. All right. So again, this can apply to any aspect of your life, romantic relationships, even maybe how you talk to yourself. Maybe within your own self, you have been a little bit more like to the point and laying it out for yourself and cutting to the chase a little bit more, and just being like, hey, this is who I am. Let me at least be honest with myself of who I am and what it is that I want, and put it all out on the table for myself to see. That also can be very powerful. And again, it's giving very much, if this has to do with business or creative endeavors, just really like going for it and just really looking at it for what it is in its totality, past maybe other things that can like get us tripped up in our own ego or our own hurt. It's more like seeing it for what it really is, and taking that and putting out there what you can, and then allowing yourself to be in that space of, the waiting doesn't seem like it's a bad thing. It just seems like rest, stillness. It's like, again, whatever it is that is out there to meet you, you want it to meet you halfway. So it's kind of just allowing yourself to rest and relax until that energy meets you halfway, or until that energy resonates in a way, that makes sense for you to move forward. But it feels to me like there's been a lot of more, it doesn't feel like overextending. And I think that's really important, is that I feel like perhaps in the past, or this energy perhaps could be turned very easily into overextending. But I feel like that is the importance of this energy here, is it's not overextending. It's just kind of, it's also given the vibe of, what is it called when you give an olive branch? Putting the olive branch out, right? Like, you don't want to like stick it in their face and be like, yo, take the branch, smacking them with the branch. You just kind of have to stick it out there and be like, they can either take it or not take it, but here's the branch. It's out here. It's where it is, and that's the overall energy I'm getting for the collective right now. And again, like I said, this can apply to any in every area in your life. I'm going to go see what the comments are saying. Emily Ross says, feeling this, getting ready to have a meetup with a creative collaborator. I'm getting the guidance to be as transparent as possible. Yes, transparency. Like, that's what I'm saying. This energy does not feel like something to be nervous about. It feels really good. It feels very fluid. It feels very like out in the open, honest, transparent. Like, I feel like that is definitely what the energy is leaning to, is to being more transparent and within all of our dealings, right? The way we relate to one another. Again, going back to what is it that we really want, and laying it all out on the table. And if we're not being honest with another person, at least being honest with ourselves. But I do think this spills out to being honest with the people around us, so that we can have more fluid, more reciprocal, more fulfilling relationships, friendships, collaborations, etc. Because both people are really, this is what I have to offer, this is what I have to offer, okay, awesome. Or this is what I have to offer, oh, I'm not seeing anything else being put on the table. Instead of me overextending myself, I'm gonna wait until I find the right person or thing that also can offer what it is that would work for me in this situation. So yeah, I love that confirmation there. Rob says, do you have to pay for this reading? No, you do not have to pay for this reading. This is just us vibing together collectively here on my Instagram live. I do personal readings, but that's something you can DM me about or find on my Etsy. This is just a collective reading. I said that you said I've also never done a reading, so for your own information, this is just collective for everybody here, and take always what resonates and leave the rest. If it doesn't resonate for you, don't try to make it fit. I personally feel that it's all just energy that we're channeling and tapping into, and so your own discernment is always very, very important when you're getting a tarot reading, and it can be applied in so many different ways, so it's very metaphorical. But if you feel that you want to donate, I do accept donations at my Cash App, but there's absolutely no pressure. Emra Heartworks, Emily Ross says, like planting a seed and then waiting for it to sprout. Yeah, exactly. And there's this sense here that I really love about this energy where, like I said, there's this feeling that maybe in the past you might have felt anxious. We might have felt anxious as a collective of like, man, when is this seed gonna sprout? Wanted to dig it up. Let me dig it up and see, is it sprouting yet? And there's this feeling with this energy that's like, nah, okay, I trust what I've planted. I trust what I've put out there. I trust what's on the table. I said what needed to be said, and I'm gonna wait for the right energy to meet me where I'm at. And I love that. Like I said, it's not overextending. It's very tapped into your heart space, but in a way that is also very, with the swords energy, still balanced. And I love that energy for us collectively. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pull some advice, see what advice will come out. Let's see. Ooh. Eight of Cups. Yes, I love the Eight of Cups. Yeah. Knight of Rods. Yes. Six of Pentacles. And the Star card. I love that for us. I feel like I should just do one more. Hold on. Yeah. Look at this. Knight of Cups and Page of Cups, which is really like two heads of the same coin to me a lot of times, where like the Page Cups is a very juvenile, youthful energy, more youthful than the Knight of Cups, still a little, naive, so to speak. But with the Knight of Cups here, I feel like it just kind of confirms what I was saying about this more matured energy of laying it out there in a way that's trusting in what it is that we have to offer from a more matured perspective. And I feel like this Knight of Cups here is just confirming of that more mature perspective I was feeling from the Page of Cups prior. But I'm going to go ahead and give you all the opportunity to tap into these cards. Let me know what you see down below. What sticks out to you? I love how Emily Ross said, haha, yeah, my mama says don't dig up the potatoes. That's right. Leave them in the dirt. let them get that water and sunshine. All right, so when I see these three cards together, the first thing I was thinking of is materializing our spiritual ideas, like taking time away to tap deeper into what it is that we're materializing spiritually, and to spend time watering those seeds, so to speak, and staying connected to that vision with the Knight of Rods here, and staying clear and level-headed and in your practice when it comes to those things, I think will be very important. With the Six of Pentacles here, I feel like it's so funny because I I said reciprocity, but the Six of Pentacles hadn't even come out yet. And I feel like that is just confirmation of what I said about this energy that wants to meet us, that wants to, you know, sit down and have a seat at our table, is one of reciprocity. And I feel like the advice here is to wait, hold that vision, and lean on spirit until that reciprocity is met. And until that flow feels fluid and feels in alignment, rather than feeling rushed or feeling forced, or, you know, feeling like this, where you have maybe looking at your cup and, like, you know, doubting what it is that might be in it. Instead, it feels very staying connected truly to the vision that it is that we have. And the Star card is here. I feel like there's a lot of auspicious hope of maybe reconnecting to that vision, especially if it's something you've been working towards for a while, or something that maybe you've experienced burnout on, or maybe feeling down and out about this specific thing or situation in the past. I feel like there is this sense of connecting deeper to the energy of what it is that you are bringing. And in that space, it feels so much more solid. It feels so much more like the foundation is what is going to be there. And I feel like the advice is to hold strong, hold steadfast, hold the vision for that foundation to come in right now. To lay down that foundation and to seek guidance of what that looks like from your guides, from spirit, from the divine, from your higher wisdom, from your own personal higher self. What is that vision? What would it look like? What would it sound like? What would it feel like? And that's why I think the Four of Swords is here, right? Because there might be people who might come and sit down at the table, and you have to take some time to think about it and really fill it out before you move forward on it. Really think about, is this, you know, creating the flow and reciprocity and the type of sharing, exchange and sharing that feels in alignment of what I need and what I desire in this moment? Or does this feel, you know, reverse, that maybe this person might be using me, or this situation isn't exactly where I'm trying to go with my energy right now, which doesn't mean anything to them or to me, but it just means that it's not an opportunity that I should take at this moment, and that I may need to take a step back and allow things to fluctuate and move and be, again, connecting to my vision. If this seems very, very important to embody this vision. It's becoming less about seeing it and more about being it. And it feels like baby steps here. You know, it feels like maybe in those areas or those parts of self that it might have been hard for you to be that version of you, to not fall into old selves that are not true to who you want to be, or, you know, saying yes to things that, you know, ultimately aren't good for you. It's like these baby steps into making better choices for yourself, and these baby steps into allowing space between the things that between you putting it out there and what you say yes to. Because saying yes, what we say yes and what we say no to are very important. And I feel like it's a focus on that as our personal power during this time period. And I feel like that's where the Star card is coming in, is the focus on what we say yes and what we say no to, and how that connects us to our deepest truth and our own personal power. Emra Heartwork says, I see the Eight of Cups as moving from old emotional patterns. Ooh, I love that. Yes, I love that. Like turning our back on those aspects that we know are not going to fulfill us or lead us where we want to go. I feel like especially with the eclipse, there's so many parts of self that are ready to be transformed and changed into something new. Baby steps, baby steps, baby steps. Emra Heartwork says, so we can start new patterns and embody our most abundant selves. Yes, 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 yes. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pull from the Oracle cards and see what comes through. little affirmation. We are all sisters and reflect the divine in one another. Oh, I love that. And then I'm on the right path and divinely guided. Yes. There's so much ease to this reading right now. It feels like, again, like if you were on this beach and let's say what it is that you want is in front of you, it's not this running towards it. It's this like very slow, trusting movement, and like I'm almost seeing like gliding, like slow gliding that is transitioning into something new. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pull this too. Let's see what comes out. Speak truth. I love that because that goes back to laying it all on the line and putting it all out on the table. And then one more card from this deck here. Oh, Goddess of Oneness, Goddess of Nature, and the Angel of Emergence. I love that. Those are all new cards I have not gotten. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and read these cards. But yeah, with this energy overall, before I read the oracle cards, I feel, to summarize this reading so far, that there's this shift in this energy into the way that we show up, the way that we move forward, the commitments that we're making, how we're engaging with others, how we are engaging with ourselves, what we are telling ourselves, what we are telling others, what we are allowing, what we are not allowing, what we're saying yes or no to. That feels more fluid, that feels softer, and not as forceful. It is still very strong and steady, but in the sense of taking baby steps into a new, more embodied version of ourselves, but also to a new, more truer form of ourselves too. And that connects us deeper to being able to truly speak and be who we feel we are, beyond, again, all the ego, all the hurt, all the past. It's really connecting to who am I in this present moment and what aligns with me in this present moment. And I feel like that's the heart of this reading right now. All right, I'm going to go ahead and read. Let's start at the bottom and then come back up. All right, so we have Goddess of Nature, which I've never pulled this card, so I'm curious to see what it says. Goddess of Nature, someone you love is thinking fondly of you in this very moment. Remember that love is not restricted by time or space, and you are forever connected spiritually to those you love and care for. It is understandable that you may be saddened because you are physically apart from someone you dearly love. Alternatively, you may be saddened by a loved one's recent passing from the earth plane. Through this card, they are making their presence felt. They have not left you and will never leave you. They are forever with you in your spirit, and the bonds of love can never be broken. Feel and acknowledge their presence, for they are with you in spirit right now. Yeah, and I do feel like this message specifically goes back to grief. And for, I know someone else said that they just lost their father. And I was speaking about my grandma's passing. I feel like if you have lost a loved one, this is speaking directly on that feeling of being able to connect to their energy beyond just the physical plane, and, trusting and feeling into that energy, whether that's like having communications with them at your altar, or, just thinking of memories of them, but also knowing that they're still with you in that powerful way. It's connecting to that energy beyond our physical realm. But I also feel this goes to, like I said here, about love with other people or situations, right? Like maybe you care about or love someone and things aren't necessarily reciprocating in the way that you need. Doesn't mean that you don't have to love that person or care about that person. You could still have love for that person in your heart and not physically be with them in that way. And that within itself is a graduation and evolution in our way of being, of knowing that love goes beyond the physical boundaries, and that we can love people beyond just this physical realm and what they can do for us physically. And that feels very powerful in this reading and deeply connected to the same energy over here. Then we have Goddess of Oneness. Oh wait, this was Goddess of Oneness. So I read Goddess of Oneness. Okay, Goddess of Nature. This is the description for Goddess of Nature. You reap what you sow. Your dream is coming to fruition. Going back to that analogy Emra said about planting seeds. Your dream is coming to fruition. This is a time to reap the rewards and benefits that are derived from the seeds of a project, venture, or idea you planted some time ago. It has not all been smooth sailing, and many a times you have doubted whether your efforts and labor would be rewarded. Yet harvest time has come. Accept all the blessings that will come your way and realize they are the results of love, courage, dedication, and commitment you've shown in the recent past. Give thanks to Mother Nature and enjoy. Yeah, and that feels very connected to the laying it on the table and trusting what you've put out on the table, trusting the seed that you have planted and watching it grow and just waiting for that to grow rather than being anxious or feeling resentment waiting or feeling anything that is attached to the ego of there being a reason in that delay. It's more of a waiting in the knowledge and knowing that it will meet you in some sort of way, even if it's not the way in which you imagined. All right, we have Angel of Emergence. Angel of Emergence. Which I think this card is just so beautiful. Look at this. It's got little butterflies everywhere. Let's see. It says, it is time for the real you to emerge. This card mirrors the start of a wondrous transformation that is about to occur in your life. For far too long, you may have felt second best and remained in the background. Ooh. It is now time for the real you, the beautiful, talented, and wondrous you to emerge. This emergence of your true nature, which until now you have denied to most of those around you, and also often denied to yourself. Over the coming days and weeks, you will begin to feel a newfound sense of confidence and excitement for your life. Embrace it. Give thanks to the gods and the angels, and above all, respect, love, and honor the beautiful and talented person that you are. Yes, and I feel this very much connects us to that Page of Cups and Knight of Cups energy. All right, speak truth. I'm going to go ahead and read that one. But like I said, that one's all about speaking your truth, being authentic to yourself. And like I said, going back to laying it all out on the table. And then I'm not going to read both of these cards, but I will read this one to close out the reading today. I want to thank everyone who's been vibing with us here on the live and also on the playback. Let me know how this resonates and drop a comment if you are watching this on the playback. And yeah, let's see what this message has to say here. Okay, speak truth. This card is asking you to tap into what needs to be brought out of you. It extends beyond speaking and into embodying, which I love that embodying has been the word that's been coming up. Emra, Heartworks, Emily Ross said embodying specifically. And I was thinking of embodying specifically when we were talking about those baby steps of what it is that, you know, making different choices emotionally, making different choices for ourselves. Not because of just from a logical perspective, but because our body is actually in alignment with that. We are now changing our behavior. We're embodying this difference. So I feel like that same message is coming back here again. Where was I at? Maybe you find yourself mysteriously drawn to a subject, art form. Oh, it says, what truth of you needs to form? Your soul, heart, and body are always trying to communicate with you. Maybe you find yourself mysteriously drawn to a subject, art form, or genre. Maybe you realize you are buying every purple thing you see. All of these things, whether small or large, are our heart's longing. It is an ember of our truth trying to light within us. In order to nurture that flame, we must breathe life into it, embody it, speak it, and embrace it. Tap into your truth in any way you can and give it power by by naming it however you feel called to name it. Beautiful. All right, last message here is from the Moon deck, and I'm going to read this one because this is one of my favorite ones, and I feel like this card, every time it comes out for me, is just a reminder that, you know, even when we feel like we're off track, we really never can get off track, you know what I mean? And to really trust every curve and dip and valley of our journey, and the parts that are unseen and the parts that don't always make sense and the parts that we can't really understand from our logical human brains. This card is that like little reminder that, you know, there's so much greater out there beyond our scope of what we can see, and to trust in the divine, to trust in our higher power, and to trust in the guidance that is all around us, even when it's not appearing so in the physical or making sense in our logical minds. It says, I am on the right path and divinely guided. When we relax into ourselves, we feel more at peace and return to trust. We remember that each small step creates the whole, a journey overflowing with divine order. A loving force within you and around you is guiding you on your path. Breathe. This guidance may take the form of your inner knowing, or may present itself as meaningful signs in your life. The exact name you give this guiding power is up to you. Source, God, universe, Great Spirit, higher self, the divine, oneness, almighty, consciousness, or many others. You may also look to spirit guides, angels, and ancestors for support. It's often a calm, encouraging, and lovingly firm voice, free from anxiety, force, or fear. As you walk your path, notice and acknowledge the signs. Yeah, and it goes back to that image of being on that beach and taking those baby steps forward that feel lighthearted, and maybe you don't exactly, feel as confident in it, but you're waiting till you feel more confident in it and taking those small steps forward. Shout out to Radioactive in the building, and shout out to West 14 Life. All right, y'all, that is the messages that are coming through here today for the collective reading. I want to thank your guides, my guides, and the divine for this space today. If you missed any of the reading, you can watch it on the playback. But aside from that, as always, be kind to yourself, be compassionate to yourself, take it easy, and I will see you all for Tea and Tarot next week. Bye.